1. Cheers, everybody. We are back for another episode of Bourbon on a Budget. Brendan, how do you rate this?
Oh, do you want to know the
rating
score?
I was just messing
6.9.
TJ and I were sassing each other a little bit before the show, so I feel like that was a carryover. Just a little bit.
Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. TJ Pittenger, Spooky Season, Brendan Sonnone, and Ben, the Cockmeister Cock. How are you guys doing? Did you guys have a good Halloween?
It was great. Great Halloween.
Cockmeister.
Oh,
I barely know her.
I barely know her. Whew, yikes. All right. We are reviewing something today that I got from the Miami Bourbon Society. I think that's it. They're going to yell at me.
That is. You got it right.
The first ever Taconic Maple Rye. That's right. This is a Taconic Distillery rye, straight rye whiskey barreled with New York maple syrup. It's a double barrel. Excited for this. We tried their bourbon not too long ago. Actually, a long time ago, over a year.
Like a year ago.
Yeah. This is 115 proof rye, a little more balanced. I obviously like it. About halfway done with this bottle. Well, about a quarter of that.
That was tonight.
Tonight, yeah. So let's get after it. Brendan, what you got in the nose?
The nose, I am getting. So first off, I accidentally spilled this. I didn't purposely spill it, I guess. So that was unnecessary. I spilled this about 30 minutes ago before we started recording. I wanted to do a little pour. I cracked open the bottle, spilled it all over the living room. And my wife was not too thrilled with me, but also not that mad, because I was the one cleaning it up. And I was like, can you smell anything on this? And she was like, maple syrup. So right away, maple syrup. But it's not as strong as I would expect. I do get a ton of vanilla out of this and a lot of tobacco, a lot of earthy, heavy notes. The one lone part of this that I do not care for, guys, it's got cherry to it, which I like, but it's almost like that cherry Robitussin-y kind of. Just a touch of it. That's the only part. It comes and goes, but don't love that part. The rest of it is extremely pleasant, though.
Man, what you got?
Interesting. So to me, I get a lot of sweetness on the nose. Certainly from like candy notes. So in my head right now, when I'm closing my eyes and I'm like nosing and tasting this, I kind of get like almost a maple flan kind of note. The caramel's there, a little bit of creaminess, but like I love a good flan, and some people hate flan. So if you don't like flan, then you don't like this. But man, this is almost kind of like a maple flan cheesecake kind of vibe. But I do get on the nose kind of like a younger profile, little more grain, but not as much ethanol as I would expect, with it being 115 proof. And so it's all sugar notes on the nose to me. All sugar notes, very sweet spectrum, creaminess. To me, this feels so similar to our Blue Note pick.
Ooh.
But, it's like...
It feels much more hefty.
Hefty.
To me.
Yeah. I was going to say hefty.
I love hefty. No, but it is thick. It smells very thick. There's a density. There's a creaminess like you talked about, Ben. There is that sweet maple. But there's some rye on the back end of that. I don't know if you guys are getting that much on it, but I do think you'd expect, and the bourbon was like straight maple syrup. Like it literally tasted or smelled like you were opening a bottle of maple syrup and nosing that. The rye balances this out to where it is very sweet. And Ben's right that it's very sugary, but it's also more balanced. It's not just like a sweet, sugary candy nose by itself. I think it's a little more complex. It's definitely denser. I think this is a nice nose. We're trying something new tonight. I'm going to give this a 1.5 for the nose. We're going to review as we go, but I got a 1.5. You guys can take it however you want it. But
yeah, I think 1.5 makes a lot of sense here. The nose is so sugary, so sweet. It kind of misses a little bit on your heavier, kind of like spicier notes, but you're not going to turn anybody off of this. This is like very friendly.
Yeah. Brendan?
I didn't know that creamy could be a smell, but it is indeed creamy. You guys are right. It doesn't smell like cream, but it is a creamy nose, and it's unique and pretty, and I like it. 1.5 out of 2. I'm with you guys.
They call us the triple threat boys.
Simpatico.
Okay, so the taste is out of 4 points. Let's talk about it, and then we'll rate it as well. Brendan, you can start us off this time.
Again, the maple syrup is there, but much like with the nose, it's not aggressive. It's not overpowering. That rye balances it out. Very cohesive to me. Like what I got on the nose in terms of that, like you described it as grainy, to me, earthy. I think we're kind of talking about the same thing, that like very tobacco leaf, almost like colognes that have like tobacco and vanilla kind of like that combination that's kind of frequent. That's what I'm getting. A lot of vanilla, a lot of tobacco, maple syrup, a little bit of rye spice as well. I think that's everything that I got on the nose, like, or on the palate. There's not a ton going on, but what it is overall very pleasant to me.
Here's what I'll say about that. I think that a lot of times that when I'm drinking a heavy rye or like a very sweet product that's rye, it starts sweet on the palate and gets spicier as it goes back.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like a sweet sandwich. So you get all the maple or all of the like the caramel notes, the vanilla up front. Then you get some spice, right? Definitely because it's a rye. You get some spice coming through mid palate, and then it finishes all maple syrup. So it's like sweet sugary, sweet sugary in the front, spice, and then it goes back to maple on the back, and it's very kind of like it doesn't drink anywhere near 115 proof for me.
No.
This is not a spicy drink by any means. And I think that's because it finishes so mapley.
What would you guess? 100 for the proof if you didn't know that it was 115? It's
I feel like between 105 and 110.
Okay, so just a little bit more or a little less for you.
I feel like I don't drink a whole lot of finished whiskeys, and so I think it's kind of playing with it as well.
You're kind of finished with this one.
Yeah, I just don't drink a whole lot of finished stuff, so
yeah,
it can be tamping down. Meh. So I think I'm gonna go. I like this a lot. This is at a 4, right? This is a 3. I'm thinking 3.
Yeah, well, I think you're there. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 as well. But you're spot on. I think that just like the nose, it's very balanced. I think that the maple finish helps it a ton. I think it would.
Yes,
it would
agreed.
be very harsh without that, and the maple definitely brings it back down to earth. Helps it drink a little bit lower proof than it is. Helps balance out some of that rye spice. Helps balance out some of that grainy harshness, and makes it a really nice, complex, balanced drink. 3 for me as well. Sinone?
2.5 for me. I like it.
Oh my goodness!
Could it be too close to each other? No, but it's very good. It's solid. This is 2.5, so above average to good score for me, and that's what it is. It's not special. It's enjoyable. It's not remarkable on the palate for me. It's good.
Yeah, the more I drink like the newer craft / like younger whiskey spirits, I kind of like those profiles in like the 3 to 4 year range. And I think with just them finishing this, it kind of just takes it to the next level. Like sometimes finishing is covering up a lot of bad whiskey. And I think this finish is just refining or rounding off some of the younger properties. So just a thought. And actually, I don't even know how young this is or old this is. In my head, this is like 4 years old. And it could be 12. I feel like an idiot.
That actually sounds about right. I want to say it's around 4 years old. I just kind of remember that from when they put it out. It's been a while though since I bought it. You were just talking about the finish. Why don't you lead us right into that?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, to me it finishes straight maple syrup. Like, so to me, I'm considering mouthfeel on the finish. Don't say anything. Don't even come at me with that. Anyway. So dang it, I can't even. How do I even like talk about these things? The mouthfeel is oily, right? It's not super drying, and so with it finishing sweet. And
Go
I
on.
hate this. I hate this. I don't want to I don't want to do this. Finish is nice. I'll give it a 1. Is it out of 1 or is it
It's
2?
out of 1. No, you just gave it a
Okay.
perfect finish. It's
Okay,
perfect.
0.5. 0.5. There's nothing bad about it. Would I like it to be a little longer? Yeah. Dang it. I hate this. I hate this category. I hate all this category.
I love the finish. Shocking that Ben and I are way off on the finish. Eddie in the comments.
Same thing every week.
Oh boy. I love the finish on it. I think it is this perfect combination of the sweet maple syrupy goodness that Ben alludes to, but that proof at the end and the rice spice gives it just a little bit of spice. It's a finish that keeps going. Like initially, it doesn't hit you. It's not this big, vibrant finish, but it keeps going and going and going. And it does the most dangerous / best thing that a finish can do.
Slap you right in the face.
Makes you want to keep. We're not talking about your finish. Makes you want to keep drinking more. With that in mind, I think it's. I was a little harsh on it in the previous category. I will be favorable to this. I was between a 0.75 and a 1. I'll go 1. It's as good of a finish as like I'm looking for.
I like it.
Like
I mean, this whiskey's really good.
I mean, you averaged
average
the finish, so you clearly didn't like it. You thought it was fine.
I'm saying just whiskeys in general.
Oh, well, we'll get to the final score, Ben. Keep it in your pants.
What is that on your? Oh, that's your chair. Okay, I thought there was something on.
Like a scarf. I thought he had a scarf on.
It's like Christmas stuff.
I'll split you guys down the middle. I'll go 0.75. I think it's very above average. I like it a lot. I'm just not willing to give it the full 1 there. So, what about cohesiveness and complexity? I'll start out here. We go right into the rating on this one. I'm going to give this the full 1. No, I'm sorry, 0.75. Sorry, it's not super complex. It's very cohesive, maybe even over cohesive, not in a bad way. But
over cohesive. What does that mean? Solid,
overly cohesive.
It's cohesive in a very good way.
So
kind of how I mean that.
Yeah, I agree with that totally, TJ. I'm not trying to change your score here because I don't find it to be a super complex, like depthy flavor profile, but it is unique. So I don't know if we want to like count uniqueness towards the complexity score, but like the rye maple syrup combination is pretty rare. So with that in mind, I think it does work all together super well. I'll give it a 1 just because I think it hits the totality of it is both cohesive and complex, and it's super cohesive. So I'll give it a little bonus for that. So a 1 for me. Perfect.
0.75.
0.25. Oh, 0.75. Look at you.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I agreed very much with the approach that TJ took here. It's very cohesive, not super complex, but
I wasn't considering value in it, so you probably didn't agree with.
I don't really know the price on this, and so I'm.
That's what we should do for Ben from now on.
Yeah, don't tell him until after.
So availability is really tough. For this, it was a group store pick again. Miami Bourbon Society put together.
It's the only one they ever did of this that we know of. Like we don't know that Taconic has ever done this before.
They didn't
do it before. We don't know if they did it.
Where's Taconic on any shelves? I don't see them at all.
Listen, when I was in Charlotte the last time, I did see them.
In Georgia, at South Georgia, like you go across the border, it's there. I mean, this is a New York distillery, so I don't know if it's like shelved all the time in Florida. Clearly in South Florida it is, so it's not impossible. Like
this is a New York distillery?
Yeah, like upstate.
Dude, this bottle is everything that Decadence wishes it could be. 100%.
Sorry, Joe.
Woo!
Jeez.
So
that's a maple syrup finished bottle, right? From Widow, and that's out of New York.
Yeah, take that, Widow Jane. You hear that? We got beef.
Widow Jane Decadence sucks in comparison to this.
Suck it, Widow Jane.
Great.
So I'm trying to look really quickly. Going into value, I'll tell you, Ben has a 5.75, and Brendan has a 6, and I have a 6 as well.
All close.
These were $65 each.
Oh, so I was in my head. I was like, if this is $65, I'm very happy paying that.
Yeah. So $65 each. I really like this. A 6 out of 8 is really, really good. $65. Availability is tough, but 1.25 for me.
1.5 for me. 1.5 for me. Very similar logic to you. I think it's really cool, and also like the art on it is cool too. It's got the Tobacco Road, which tobacco notes, but it's a Miami staple. So yeah, man, this is really cool. Cool bottle, great value. 1.5 for me. Happy we got it.
Does Taconic offer a maple finish rye as part of their typical lineup?
I was like, no, this is super unique. They do some maple syrup finished bourbon stuff that we got our hands on before. They have a baseline rye.
Like impossible, pretty much.
Yeah. Yes.
Dang. This is great. Okay, so I got to go 1.25. I was between 1.25 and 1.5. So 1.25 because no one's going to find this ever again, and it's kind of frustrating because it's really good. So yeah, 1.25.
Oh, Ben's at a 7. I'm at a 7.25, and Brendan's at a 7.5. That takes our aggregate to 7.25. That's an easy average. So
that's a buy. If you see it, if you're able to get your hands on it somehow, some way,
you'll never see it again.
Or at least try some of the Taconic stuff. If you can find something finished by them. We've had 2 things that have been maple syrup finished, and both of them have rated pretty high, at least according to us. So I think it's worth grabbing. I'm sure it's some kind of sourced younger juice, and they finish it or blend it, but it's great. Do a good job.
I like it. It's a buy for all of us.
It's a buy. Yep, 7+ is an easy buy for us. So
I'd
good
job. Buy at that price.
Good job, Miami Bourbon Society as well. It's a really good collaboration. Taconic, 2 for 2 for us. I have some baseline like bourbon Taconic. Maybe we drink that next week since it's a New York distillery. FSU's playing in New York.
Oh, Syracuse. Yeah, look at that. Where is Taconic? Is that close?
Not to Syracuse. It's about like an hour or so north of New York City, which anything north of New York City they think is upstate, but it's maybe an hour and a half or so. It's along the Hudson River.
Yeah, you should go. It's not that far.
Yeah, I mean Syracuse is really far west, but maybe.
It's only 3 hours and 18 minutes. I traveled farther to see you. I traveled farther to see you 2 weeks ago.
You traveled to go see Florida State.
I was there.
I wanted to have breakfast with you. All right. Bourbon on a Budget everywhere. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Learn how to speak. I don't do it for a living or anything.
Learn how to speak.
TJ Pinger, Brendan Sonnone, Ben Cock. Until next time, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it could be like a cold ending. That's good.
Oh, just the way your mother likes it, Trebek.
Okay, I'll take Schwartz for 500.
That was the cold open.